Go ahead and bring us up. Go ahead, Gary Johnson.
Hi, I'm Gary Johnson. Welcome to the Jeff Davis Show, the long-running Jeff Davis Show, which I understand is worldwide.
It's worldwide, yeah, due to channelaustin.org.
Right.
That's right, worldwide. And we're live tonight. It's
the 21st.
21st of March. Y'all got both lines fit? Well, guys, it was an interesting week. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, and remember, you brought that up.
Yes.
I brought up this thing about Libya. Now, first off, folks, I want to say that I am not one of these blaming America first people and all that. The fact is, I love America. I've had a lot of opportunities here, and so have both of us up here. And I spent 12 years in the United States Air Force. I love this country. It's the United States of America is the most powerful nation on the history of planet Earth by any measurement.
Yes, we're the superpower.
That's right. And so but along the way, America's leaders have made serious, deadly mistakes, and one of them is foreign military intervention.
Yes.
Okay. So,
we're already in Iraq and Afghanistan, and now Libya.
Well, I want to go take it back to first off, talk a little bit about the United Nations.
Okay.
The United Nations is a war-making entity. It got American military involved in Korea, Vietnam, UN resolutions. The UN resolution starved hundreds of thousands of Iraqi men, women, and children with sanctions during the 1990s.
Mm-hmm. We had Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Right. It's a war-making entity. Certain UN agencies have also called for global gun control. So, I mean, clearly the United Nations to me is pretty much an evil organization, I'd say. A war-making, perpetual war for perpetual peace is the ongoing process here. But now, I'm not one of these Constitution guys necessarily. I used to be, we have to stick, Constitution. I think basically if everybody just knew right from wrong, we wouldn't need any documents at all. Mm-hmm. But we do have a Constitution. And during the Iraq, both 1 and 2 wars in Iraq, and the war in Afghanistan, this war on terror, there was not a declaration of war by the United States Congress to do this, as the Constitution states it should be. What they did was they passed a authorization for the use of force. No declaration of war. Okay, now this situation with Libya today now. Here you have a situation where there have already been acts of war. The United States Air Force and fighter jets have bombed airfields in Libya. That's already been engaged in acts of war. And this is based upon, I'm talking about just the authority here. This is based upon a United Nations resolution and the okay by President Obama. The United States Congress has been completely ignored in this process. So basically, the only thing to conclude is that pretty much we have an outlaw government at this point.
Right.
They're not. And what's surprising about it is that very few of the Congress people or the mainstream media are even bringing this up, that the United States Congress hasn't even gave an opinion on this. They're just accepting that the United Nations, a war-making, destructive entity, anybody that doubts that there's not a world government now has got to be completely nuts. Here you've got a world body council, the United Nations, passing a resolution that engaged the United States military into acts of war. And that's it.
Yeah, at one point, did the American people say, we want to go to war in Libya? I don't remember that. I don't remember any authorization for the president to act. You mentioned that at least in some of these wars, even though there wasn't a declaration of war, there was some kind of
an authorization.
There's nothing in that in Libya at all.
Nothing. The Congress has been completely ignored in the process. So even if they come back and say, and they pass some resolution, which wouldn't surprise me that they did, because the Congress is full of a bunch of warmongers anyway. But even if they could now come back and pass some kind of resolution or something, they've already committed treason.
Right.
Because they're committing acts of war outside of what the Constitution and the quote unquote rules of the land are supposed to be.
I mean, Obama should be impeached, but who's going to impeach him?
That's right. He should be impeached for this, and but again, the foreign military intervention has been, I think, one of the most deadliest. And then some people say, Gary, it's about oil. Well, Vietnam wasn't about oil. Korea wasn't about oil. And even if it is about oil, to me, it's just not worth all the death and mayhem going on over there.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I'm one that does believe it's about oil over there. But, it shouldn't be a factor. I mean, to go over there and kill, the innocent people. I mean, it's just, we need to stay out of foreign affairs.
That's a very good point, Gary. The U.S. is bombing Libya. It's killing civilians right now in the name of protecting the civilians. I mean,
right.
It's a circular argument that Gaddafi was attacking his own people. Well, there's a civil war going on over there, and Lincoln attacked his own people too. But so the idea that we're going in there to protect people is ridiculous. We're bombing people from way overhead. Who knows where those bombs are hitting? That was the same thing in Bosnia.
Yeah.
And you're going to have inevitably what they call what's it called? I've got the term, but anyway, you're going to have civilian casualties. Collateral damage. Yes.
Well, some reports are estimating 1 million Iraqi civilians killed since 2003. 1 million. So you got these Sean Hannity, these warmongers.
That was just a no-fly zone you're talking about.
The overall bombing and when the Air Force went in there against a country who had no threat, was absolutely zero threat to America, had no Air Force, no Navy, the size of Texas, and we just went in there with B-52 to start bombing. So there's going to be, the hundreds of thousands of people killed.
Right.
And but if it's to me, if it's about oil, it's not worth it. I think we could go back to we could go back to horse and buggy days if we have to, then to avoid the death and mayhem that's going on over there. And if gas goes up to $10 a gallon, like some people are saying, we may be looking at options like that anyway. Yeah. So, but it's not, like I say, we're in Iraq. They're in Iraq, Afghanistan. They've been bombing in Yemen and Somalia.
And those drones, too.
Those drones are bombing in Pakistan.
Listen, Obama should give back his Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, here's the thing. If you even watch some of these videos from Al-Qaeda and some of these quote-unquote terrorist groups, and many arguments made by Muslims and Arab people, their main issue is that this foreign military intervention that's been going on over there for 5 or 6 decades. These people will tell you when they speak that they want to attack America because American military is over there. They want to attack here because we're over there.
We are experiencing, it's called blowback. We're experiencing blowback. We go over there, and they are attacking us to get us to stop going over there.
Yes, and but to me, it's one of the biggest mistakes our American leaders have made in the history of the country. this internationalist police force, nation building, all this stuff that they say they're doing. It's created a lot of enemies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if a million Iraqi civilians got killed, just think of their family members and how they feel now, the ones that survived it.
Well, I said this before on the previous show. In Libya, who are okay? Let's say Gaddafi's a bad guy, but who are these rebels? Why are we taking sides in their war? They could be worse than Gaddafi.
That's right, and I'm suspicious about all these crowds popping up anyway. I'd like to know who's funding them and things. I'm suspicious about the whole thing, but it just doesn't make any sense for okay. So and they're saying Gaddafi's killing his own people. Well, we've heard this before with Saddam, and the fact is, every government in the world, including the American government, has killed its own people.
Yes.
So this argument about killing it just doesn't make any sense.
That would be like if China came in, the American government is killing its own people. China's going to save us.
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense to advocate, killing a bunch of people supposedly to save a bunch of people. And like you say, when you start picking these sides, you don't know which side is really good, bad, or indifferent, or whatever. So it's just best that the American military stay out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, and Gaddafi's been in power, 40 years, 41 years, and now all of a sudden...
Yeah, why suddenly now? what
but
lately?
It's going on everywhere. Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
I mean, there's it's going on it's going. So you got to wonder, you got to be suspicious of all of this.
Definitely.
And you got to remember the old Hegelian dialectic. There are people, the power structure, the power elite, they benefit from constant chaos and crisis. Would you agree with that, Gary?
They caused the chaos.
That's right. The war on drugs is a perfect example of how they create a constant state of chaos and crisis with the war on drugs. So anyway, let's try some calls here. One of them may be from Fluoride. We've got Mr. Gary Johnson, Rule of Law Radio Network, Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m., 90.1 FM. Mr. Gary Johnson, Google Gary Teague. Google Gary Teague. imdb.com. Search Gary Teague. And what was his name? Rip?
Oh,
Rip says you got
Rip Lowe.
You got it going on, he said. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Oh, hello.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, this is Ray Nadler-Linick of Fluoride Free Austin.
Cool. Great. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. You're live. This is a live tele-webcast out of Austin, Texas.
Oh, I didn't know it was a webcast.
Yes, it is. ChannelAustin.org. You can watch at ChannelAustin.org.
So, Ray, I understand something's happening tomorrow?
Yes. There is going to be a public airing, so to speak, of Fluoride, the first official one in about almost 40 years. And what it is, it's a what they call a briefing on fluoride that's going to occur during the scheduled meeting of the City Council's Committee on Public Health and Human Services. That's a three-person committee comprising Randy Shade, who's the chair, and Laura Morrison and Mike Martinez. And that committee meets regularly, and this is the meeting for this month. It's scheduled in council chambers for 2 p.m. However, we are not the first item on the agenda. We're toward the end. And I would like to recommend that people go to my blog, because I do have the details there, including the agenda. They can reach the agenda and just look over the details of this. My blog address is blog.fluoridefreeaustin, FLUORIDE, all one word, .com. And it can also be reached through the website, which is www.fluoridefreeaustin.com.
We have something. We have some different web pages up on the screen right now. Fluoride Follies.
That's the blog.
That's the blog. Okay,
If you look at the first entry, which should have our seal, those are the stickers we're going to give out to people so that they can we can see who's with us. We hope it will be a crowded room. And reading, I've been writing a bit, sort of a running commentary on what's going on this blog. So
and what's your all's ultimate goal to end water fluoridation in Central Texas?
Oh, we're starting with Austin.
Starting with Austin.
Well, yeah, of course we would like to see it ended everywhere. But as the name implies, we're starting with Austin, which is a very good place to start. There are a lot of reasons why Austin is an ideal city in which to begin with this. It's an enlightened city. I will say that about Austin.
And what's your advocacy for doing away with fluoride?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
What's your position for doing away with fluoride in city?
Well, it's neither safe nor effective. It doesn't do what it is claimed to do. It does not help children's teeth or anyone's teeth. It's a poison, actually. Now, I should clarify that we advocate against water fluoridation, the fluoridation of water, which is somewhat different from, it's very different from the use of fluoride in dental products, on which we don't take a position. Fluoridation of water implies a different chemical. It's a very dangerous chemical. It's a toxic byproduct of the fertilizer industry. It's a hazardous waste. If they didn't put it in the water systems, they would have to dispose of it at great expense in landfills. You can't dump it in the water. You can't release it into the air. But if you sell it as a, quote, product, then it's okay to put into the public drinking system. So, through ingestion, fluoride does nothing to protect the teeth. It might possibly do something to protect the teeth applied topically, as in brushing, but that would be a different fluoride.
Ray, so Tuesday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. at City Hall, they're going to have this hearing, which is really a city council committee. I understand that it's kind of a stacked deck. How many people get to speak, or does everybody who signed up get to speak, or what's the deal with all that?
You know, there has been great confusion about that, and I myself retain a bit of confusion, although every time we inquire, it seems to get a little bit clearer. But see, it does not follow the rules of a regular city council meeting. The way in which it's organized is at the discretion, in this case, of Randy Shade, who's the chair of that committee. She is describing it as a briefing, not a meeting, and because it's a briefing, different rules apply. Now, as I understand it, there is a public citizens communication that comes toward the beginning of the meeting. This is, you sign up on paper 15 minutes before the meeting and so on. If you're a citizen who wants to say something, as in, you know, the regular council citizens communication. However, I believe that in this case, people who want to sign up for that would have to talk about something other than water fluoridation, because you can't talk in general communication about an agenda item. You are limited to communication while the agenda item is before the committee.
Ray, we've got a full line of calls. If you'd like to stay on the line, they may have a question about this topic. If you want to stay on the line, or
yeah, I'll try hard to answer it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on a minute. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hi, I was calling in about the fluoride meeting tomorrow morning in Austin, Texas at 2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be down at the City Council building. I'm not sure if you've had any other callers. I don't actually have the ability to watch your show currently. but I'm going to be speaking along with several doctors, dentists, professors, who are all opposed to fluoride. And we've been battling here for several years here in Austin, actually since, I believe, 1976, to try to end water fluoridation. And the fact is that most of the world outside of the United States, including Canada and almost 98% of mainland Europe, has ended or outright banned water fluoridation. And it's time that the City Council takes it upon themselves to call this issue to a vote and end it outright. Several communities here in the United States, actually dozens, if not hundreds, have ended or banned water fluoridation in their communities, most recently Honolulu and a town in Ohio, the name of which I don't have in front of me. But we have a serious chance to stop water fluoridation outright here in Austin tomorrow afternoon, and we really need the support of local Austinites to come and speak, to hold signs, or just to show their support for the issue. It's really important that we get bodies in the room. It's going to be from 2 to probably 5 p.m., possibly later, and I'd like to really encourage people to come out and support the cause, if not, at the least, educate themselves on the issue. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of studies showing the detrimental effects of fluoride at even low doses, and several books, including The Fluoride Deception, which has been made into a documentary film, which anyone can watch on YouTube or documentaryheaven.com. So please come out. Please help support the cause. It will be entertaining, if nothing else.
Caller, what is your name?
My name is Philip Green.
All right, Philip. Actually, we have Ray Nadler Olenek on the other line, so we appreciate you calling in and telling us, in addition to what she had said about this hearing, I guess it is.
Well, thank you very much, and I'd also like to mention one last thing. 2 cities close to Austin, the town of Elgin and the town of Marble Falls, recently ended their water fluoridation after a spill of the hexafluorosilicic acid.
That's interesting. Well, keep fighting, sir. And by the way, you have access to the internet?
I do.
You can watch the show at channelaustin.org. And you can check us out on Facebook, too. Jeff Davis Show on Facebook.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's try this one. Hold on. Ray, were you able to hear that caller?
I was.
Okay.
Very well said.
Okay, you want to hold on again? I got one more here to take.
Yeah, I can hang on.
Okay, hold on. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Mike Hansen.
Hey, Mike Hansen.
Hey, I thought I'd call in and plug that we got 5 more seats left if anybody wants to go with us to the memorial service.
That's right. I forgot about that. You in going, Gary?
I'd like to. It'll be when?
You already got you down, Gary.
April the 19th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got you down, Gary.
It's pretty surreal. You go up there and they have the memorial service, and then we'll go out to Mount Carmel and see be on location where the massacre actually took place.
You got me, Mike?
And I got you down too, Gary.
Okay.
And you'll have a very professional driver too.
That's right. So what if people are interested? Now you are requesting a $20 donation.
We can't. It's free.
Well, okay,
All
it's
right.
free. But what was I going to ask you?
Well, do you have anything to say about fluoride, Mike?
Oh,
Do what?
do you want people to call your comment line that are interested, Mike?
If you want to go, this is going to be April 19th, and
Hello?
I don't know. You're going to beep,
Might
beep,
have had an
beep.
emergency. 'Cause he had some personal. He had to evict somebody today. Let's drop him.
Anyway. Thank you, Mike.
There we go. What's going on?
Oh, maybe it's not him. Maybe it's the phone. Okay.
I'm sorry, folks. I don't know why the thing just freaked out. Anyway, right there it is. Open to the public. Right there, 292-0070. You're going for sure, Gary?
Yes.
Okay. And like I say, we'll go over to Mount Carmel in Waco, the actual site where the Branch Davidians worshipped. And we can see the chapel again. Have you seen the chapel yet?
I have not seen the chapel. I went up there when the event happened. I haven't been there since. I was there in '93.
Were you?
Protesting.
Good, good. I think you, me, and Terry Liberty are about the only three protesting.
We went around with signs.
Everyone was saying, they're
cold. Is your
this
church ATF approved?
And so you'd like to go too?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so so we're going to be on. I'm hoping to get some interviews and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's try another call here. Jeff, I would like to play some video tonight. I've got there's three different things in there. Hey, Ray.
It's Mike again.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mike.
I was saying that this is going to be on the 19th of April, and depending on where you are in Austin, the pickup point is going to depend on where you're at in Austin. Is what time it's going to be. We're supposed to be at Waco at the hotel at 10 o'clock.
Mary Alshire, who's probably watching. I know you'd love to go to Waco with us. You know Mary?
Yes, I do.
You know Mary?
There's about 5 seats left.
So we got a 15 pass. So we've got 10 people booked right now.
Yes.
Cool. That's great.
I just booked 2 more people a while ago, so there's about 5 seats left. So if you would like to call me at 512-292-0070. I can put you on the list and pick you up. We'll have to call you back and let you know what time it's going to be, but we're going to have to leave. We want to be there by 10 o'clock, Jeff.
Yeah. It's an easy drive up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be there.
You're getting some feedback, Jeff.
All right. The phone just went buoy in here. It just started.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know what that was all about. But the lines have been lit since the show began, Mike. I want you to know that.
Right.
The lines have been lit up, haven't they?
Yes. Mike, do they fluoridate the water in Gonzales?
Yes, they do. But the guys that do it tell me it's a good fluoride, though. And I said I didn't know there was any such thing as a good one.
Yeah.
That's what they told me. So.
All right. Mike, thank you for posting online my interview with Nikki Maxwell.
Yeah, that was a great interview, I have to say.
I interviewed her after you.
I know that. Yeah,
Yes.
they posted that to my Facebook that you were having her on.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Well,
see
guys?
the influence you have, Mike.
That's
you
right.
brought that up last week, and here she ended up on on this show, and then on Gary's radio show.
Yes.
Just from your one
that's right.
suggestion to call her and ask her to come on.
Well,
See
did
the influence
fluoride
you have
ladies
around
call
here,
in tonight?
huh?
Did the fluoride ladies call in tonight?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's what. Yeah, we've been talking about.
Yes.
We've also been talking about this perpetual war for perpetual peace.
Great.
The United Nations now setting American military policy.
Well, don't forget about the international community. Y'all have to go with that.
Oh yeah, the international. I just like to know where my representative stands on it.
Yes.
Wouldn't you? Not the UN. We don't elect the UN bureaucrats. He'll be coming up after the video, Wanda.
Where's Lloyd Doggett?
Yeah,
Well,
where's
God
Lloyd?
bless y'all, and I hope to see everybody next week.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Take care, Mike. Love you. Okay. Now, look, Jeff. Let's go ahead and run. And then we're gonna have. Let's try this one. Welcome. You're on Worldwide. Now, Jeff, let's just pick one of those blue discs I have in there, in about 10 minutes, and then we'll be back. I got some other things I want to talk to you guys about, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Pretty solid. So, did either one of you disagree with what I said at the beginning of the show? Do you think the UN should be making the decisions on American military acts of war?
No way.
Oh, come on, Jeff. Obama's a peacemaker.
Yeah, right. That makes that Nobel Peace Prize just look totally ludicrous now, doesn't it?
What really irks me, though, about the whole situation is we've got enough oil in this country that we don't need those other countries.
Yes.
We've got enough in Texas for like the next 150 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's no shortage of oil. Of course, if you don't pump it, there's going to be a shortage. But we've got it under the ground. It's there. But we just have to pump it.
Well, even if these wars are over oil, which I kind of think maybe not. I think probably more into the population control situation. But because a lot of people are being killed now with all this stuff going on. But again, to me, it's just not worth it. All this death. If it is over oil, then it's just not worth it. Like say, pump here or go back to horse and buggy if we have to. It's just like I say, if some people are projecting, Gary, the gas is going to go up $10 a gallon.
I believe it's going to go up, Jeff. Myself, I don't know that price.
Well, a few of them have said that.
Well, I predict that prices are going to go up, but it's not going to be because of war, and it's not because of the price of oil. It's because the Federal Reserve is printing money out of thin air, and every price is going to go up because the purchasing power of the dollar is going down.
That's true. That's one of the factors, and that's the problem with having a monopoly to control our money system.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeff, let's go ahead and play some video, about 10 minutes. And just pick anything, Jeff. Slap it in there, and then we'll be back with some more calls and with Mr. Gary Johnson, radio host, Mr. Actor Gary Teague. Live here tonight, 21 March, year of our Lord 2011.
Respond or cooperate so they would beat him again.
So what's you guys' general perception of Williamson County, Texas?
I think that they're criminals and
they need to be shut down.
And basically, they're making up their own laws and changing them as
they need to restart their whole organization. All sheriffs should be fired and be punished for anything that they have done.
I personally
and
witnessed.
Plus start all over with new police officers, new sheriffs, new DAs,
new court people, judges.
Everyone
it's
needs
basically open and shut in their court system. You go in, they speak real fast.
They own their own town,
They say, when I went to court last time in Williamson County, they said, hey, this is what we can do. We can let you out today. Does that work for you? And then in order to get out of jail, I had to agree to never open the case, never go back and re-examine it, to never speak about it, basically. I witnessed a guy die in there that time from a staph infection that went untreated, even though...
In the Williamson County jail.
Yeah, my job to get my sentence reduced was to watch him every day because he was on suicide watch. But the real story is that he had a staph infection, and it was real bad. They didn't want it to spread, so they put him on suicide watch so that way they have the right to isolate him, keep him in the infirmary, and I watched him die over about a 2-week period, telling the guards every day, this guy's dying, and then they finally let him go home.
I've gotten all kinds of reports about people being beaten in the jail, beaten to death, and so it just goes on and on.
And I want to say that document you signed is completely invalid and illegal. And everything that they did to you guys, okay, we can file criminal charges against them. And what you're saying, they need to start all over, need to fire. Not only do they need to be fired, these people need to be put in jail.
I agree with that.
Okay, and that's what Randy and I are all about. Okay, and so we like to have you on a radio show, too, and discuss how we're going to go after these people. Not civilly. Okay, see, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is suing. Okay, you have to go after their wallet after the fact. All right, you have to get the criminal charges against them first and get indictments and convictions, and then you go after their wallet. What I say is you boot them into jail and you grab their wallet as you're kicking them in. Okay, you can't just go after their wallet. So we're doing something about this.
Okay, we're ready for some. Yeah, we're ready for some. Okay, folks, we got about 11 more minutes worth of calls. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. You guys,
Thank you
Deborah,
so much.
Thanks for having us.
Sasan, Jeff Jr. Once again, Google Jeff Davis Show for folks on the internet. You can watch archive playbacks of the show in their entirety. There's a banner there that says click here to watch the past shows. Click that on. You can watch 2 years worth of archive playbacks. Okay, welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Jeff, it's Chris Baker. How are you guys doing?
Great, sir.
Hey, one thing I got to ask, Deborah, has there been any similar harassment at Burning Man?
I do not know. I haven't attended Burning Man, but I do know people that have gone, so I will definitely be looking into that. But I don't think so, and if it is, it would be different because Burning Man is on private property. Now, probably, well, I know what they do at events like Burning Man is that they use the Rave Act, okay, to go in and basically just seize everybody and search everybody. They use the Rave Act to go after the property owners and after the people that attend these events on private property. Okay, so basically they just do the same thing. So sometimes I don't know if it's happened at Burning Man, but that's the big difference with Burning Man is it's always in the same place and it's on private property. This is on public property. This is national forest. This is our land. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal if they do it on private property too, but I will look into that.
Anything else, sir?
Well, I didn't see any of you guys in San Antonio yesterday at the fundraiser for Ron Paul.
I was there. I was there all day.
She was playing music, weren't you?
Yeah,
The band was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
yeah. Our band was in the afternoon, and I was there that night too.
Well, yeah, it was really nice to see that. I was quite pleased with it. So.
Thank you.
Don't think I have anything else to say at this
Okay.
point.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Google Jeff Davis Show, sir. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Yeah, you know who needs to be put in jail? The guy in the very end with his nuts hanging out. I can see his nuts.
I guess he's got X-ray vision, or
thank you.
Or
welcome. You're on
overactive
Worldwide.
imagination.
He drinks sodas without.
Yes, sir.
I just want to appreciate your passion about this issue. You asked earlier at the top of the show if the rest of the world understands that the United States has been reduced to a third world country. It's worse than that. The United States has been reduced to a wholly owned subsidiary of corporate America. The Pentagon has been pimped off to these folks, and you have to ask yourself, the people that are putting good folks like you in jail for these ridiculous crimes, they have been brainwashed. The military complex, the Marines, the Navy Shore Patrol, the Army military police, they're all part of the same cabal. And you have to ask yourself, how do these people get so brainwashed as to willingly violate every constitutional measure we got in our country? It's ridiculous. I can't understand for the life of me, and I'm 50 years old. This is just crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It has gone crazy, particularly since 9/11. It's not that everybody has gone crazy. It is a small segment of society that saw 9/11 as their opportunity to just increase the craziness. And that's all it takes is a very dedicated, but small amount, but very dedicated set of people to just make life miserable for everybody else. And of course, they try to take control of the governmental apparatus. It's very important that everybody remember that we are mostly free. If we start falling into the trap of thinking, oh my God, it's all over, well, what you're doing basically is defeating yourself. Most of the people, most of the time, on most issues, do get it right. They're pretty good libertarians.
Well,
but it's the exceptions that are the problem, and that could go either way. That depends on whether we have the ability to encourage people in a good direction or just succumb to defeatism.
Well, as noble as your objectives are, I just want to know from your panel, how do we get through the rank and file of good, upstanding peace officers to help them understand that they are in violation of what our country was founded on? It's crazy. I'll let you go on that note.
Studying your local laws and being able to catch them on minor technicalities.
You need to listen to my show.
I wanted to mention what's your guys' thoughts on drug prohibition? Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. You need to listen to my show because that's what Randy and my show is about.
To the caller's question about
most of the people associated with this show will tell you that drug prohibition is
very corrupting.
Is immoral and corrupt.
I believe what Thomas Jefferson argued, that if you let the government decide which food you eat and which drugs you take, your soul is no better off than those under tyranny.
There you go. There you go.
So for applause. So for what the caller was saying about trying to educate the police are not ignorant. They may act stupid. They're not ignorant. They are informed. They get informed about the law. Some very well, some not. It is the direction in which things have gone. When you have a police department where the law is, where the aim is to protect the life and property of people, then you've got a chance for an honest police. But when the job of the police becomes law enforcement instead of protection of the public, look out.
Meaning wars on drugs and stuff like that.
Means anything they want it to.
And I also want to comment on this, that the police may know laws that they're supposed to enforce, but they don't know the law that they're supposed to follow. None of them read the Criminal Procedure Code. The judges don't read the Criminal Procedure Code. Neither do the prosecutors. They don't know how they're supposed to do their job because they haven't read the law that tells them what they are supposed to do. Okay, and that's where me and Randy come in. We file criminal complaints against them for breaking the law, okay, and how they perform their duties and job functions as peace officers.
Yeah, it's moving from protect and serve to harass and abduct.
Yeah, and money. A lot of it's money. There are ways to make money.
Corporations can pay the police more than an individual citizen.
We call it revenue generation.
Yeah.
What we
pay a lawyer a lot of it.
Yeah, lawyers are in on it. Yeah, welcome. You're all worldwide.
How's it going, guys? I have a different view. Everyone calling in.
Go ahead.
I think that you guys connect to you kind of crazy for that drugs, the prohibition of drugs, is ridiculous. Because I mean, imagine how much stress that would cause every angle.
Caller, your voice.
So yeah, you're breaking up.
Can you
I'm
talk?
sorry.
There you go.
I just have a problem with what the two viewers, the panel members that are next to you are saying. I mean, the prohibition of drugs would be like that's completely ridiculous. We have problems with alcohol.
Sir, the problems.
Yeah, Germany tried this.
The problems with drugs are created by the problems are associated with the prohibition, not the drugs. Drugs don't create. Hold on, put you on hold, sir. Drugs do not create drug cartels. Drug cartels, for example, and people selling dope out in the streets is an artifact of drug prohibition.
And the government's not going to make you a better person. The government's not going to make you responsible for what you put in your body. We need to have education, and we need to practice good habits and good hygiene, and we need to control what we put in our body. Okay? It's like, I bet you need to lose some weight. I think the government should put you on a diet. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not talking about regulation like that. I'm not talking about that kind of regulation. But I am saying the regulation you have now on drugs is good. I mean, I would disagree with the laws on marijuana and things like that. But as far as other drugs that are more,
sir, you can't
and things like that. That regulation right.
Sir, it's not a matter of the drugs. It's a matter of what the prohibition is causing.
Individuals should be responsible.
But
it's the prohibition that's causing all the violence, all the corruption of the police. It has nothing to do with, marijuana.
So you're telling me that
population in prisons?
Prisons.
We can't hear
it's all in on
it. We can't hear it.
Deregulation of drugs would end all drug cartels? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yes. No, I mean, I seriously doubt that. I mean,
what's the purpose of a drug cartel if you don't have a drug prohibition?
They wouldn't have formed the cartel.
Right, because if the drugs were available legally, let's say at Walgreens or Walmart. We are back live here. It is 21 March. We have, first off, Mr. Jacob Davis. Jacob Davis, say hi to everybody.
No.
Say hi to everybody. Jacob, say hi to everybody out there.
Nope. Jacob, hello. No.
Say hello. Who's this?
Baba.
Who's that?
Jacob.
Yeah. Who's that?
Mommy.
Who's that?
Daddy.
That Gary.
Dad.
This is Lorraine.
Nope.
Can Jacob Davis say Lorraine?
Nope.
Yes, you can.
It's a strange name.
Oh, he can say Lorraine.
Nobody's called Lorraine.
Can you say Gary? This is Gary. We have two Garys. Count to two.
1,
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. How old is Jacob Davis?
2.
2. That's right. 2. That's right. There you go. Little fella. Grandpa loves you. You know that, don't you? Huh?
What do you say to Grandpa? You're supposed to say I love you too, Grandpa.
No.
We do have. Let's try to rush through these calls real quick, and then Lorraine's going to tell us about what is the meet up tomorrow.
It's the TSA pat downs. They're in a hearing tomorrow, and they need all the support they can get to repeal the pat downs at the airports.
Okay, we'll talk about that as soon as we get. Okay, here we go. Here, this is Raccoon, by the way. Raccoon. There we go. Welcome. You're on Worldwide. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on.
You said hello.
Sir?
You just said hello. Well.
Can you hear us? Well,
Maybe
sorry.
not.
Sorry.
Okay, Lorraine, tell us about the TSA pat-down meeting.
Well, today I think Heather wants everybody to call the representatives. It's on one of the Facebooks that I put up there. If you, Jeff wants to show them, but we're supposed to call and write them today to let them know that we support it. And if we want, we can go down to the Capitol tomorrow. And it's room 120 at the Capitol. It's supposed to meet there at 10:30, but it may be later in the day. But they actually are going to have a hearing, so it's a good day to go to the Capitol tomorrow. You can support the bill against the TSA pat downs as well as the fluoride bill because they're both going on tomorrow.
It's both at the city council.
No,
or at the
no. The fluoride bill is actually at the Capitol.
At the Capitol.
Yes.
Okay. And where's this TSA one again? I'm sorry.
It's in a room 120 at the Capitol.
At the Capitol.
At the
So both
actual
of them
Capitol.
are at the Capitol. There you
No.
go.
I don't know. Where's the fluoride one at? Is that
I
at
think
City
it's at City
Council?
Hall.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was a city
Hall?
council. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's at City Hall. The fluoride thing's at City Hall. The TSA pat down is actually at the Capitol.
Room 120.
Yeah.
And people can speak against it and that kind of thing?
Yes, you can sign up to speak against it, or if you don't have enough time, you can just sign up and show your support against the bill.
What does the bill do?
Well, it pretty much prohibits the TSA agents from touching your private areas. So
You were telling us, I don't know if you finished your story, you went through with this.
yes, I did. I went through the pat down myself, and all my areas were touched.
Really?
Yeah,
By a
I mean
woman?
they were. I mean, I wouldn't say she didn't unnecessarily touch them. She was a woman. It was like procedural, but yes, she did touch all my stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Everything was touched, and my breasts were touched, my butt was touched, the bottom of my crotch was touched, the top of my crotch was touched too, because they feel under your underwear. I mean, you don't really realize this, but they do stick their thumb in your pants, and they feel all around your pants.
Really? Boy, getting pretty gruesome.
Well, they got gloves on, and apparently when they touch the actual intimate areas, they're supposed to use the back of the hand, but they're still touching you. It still feels uncomfortable. It's not something you want to go through if you're going on an airplane.
You know, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, because the real terrorists, they go through security. You know, they get somebody who escorts them through security, like that the most recent bomber, the underwear bomber. He was escorted through security. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The TSA machines are not designed to pick up that type of thing. The TSA machines, they cause health problems. There's radiation involved. And not to mention, they scan a naked picture of you, and they keep that on file. And, you know, that's kind of like crossing the line.
So on this show tonight, we've talked about foreign military intervention and its deadly effects on the country. We've talked about fluoride, possibly poisoning our citizens in their drinking water.
Yes.
And now we're talking about basically legal sexual assault.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes. Where was the website for this? The TSA pat down information? You mentioned
there's actual website. I forgot what it was, but I was bringing up the Texans for Accountable Government. They're the main ones sponsoring it.
Cool.
But they have a website too, specifically devoted to this.
Cool. Let's try this call. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Howdy, y'all.
Hi, sir. Welcome.
It's Nate.
Hey,
Hi.
Nate. Good to hear from
Hi,
you.
Nate.
Hey, listen, I got a bone to pick with Gary Johnson on his blowback conspiracy theory. Everybody knows that they hate us for our freedom.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, and that's why they're taking our freedoms away, because then if we don't have any, they won't hate us anymore.
There you go.
Oh,
That's brilliantly said,
go.
Nate. Brilliantly
Thank you,
said.
sir. I stand corrected.
Do you realize, Nate, that the United States military has committed acts of war in Libya, and the Congress hasn't even said a thing about it?
Yep, they don't even bother with those declarations of war anymore.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that doubts that there's not a world government, I mean, the UN is a world entity.
I like the point that Gary made that we're over there killing civilians to protect them.
Right. Right.
We had to destroy the village in order to save it.
There you go. That was a great interview last night too, Gary.
Oh, thank you.
I made sure that Nikki got a hold of it and she liked it, and I remembered your email from 20 years of you saying it on the air, so with the sedition, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I just said, what's his email? And they go, oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
always have your
great
email.
show, guys. I like that my little thing about they hate us for our freedom.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it makes total sense to me. That's why they're taking them away.
That's right.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Nate Thomas from Gonzales, Texas. There's a lot of stuff going on in Gonzales, isn't there?
There is.
I think the city leadership's in shambles there myself. Now, Nikki, when she was on here last week, she didn't agree to that. But I mean, they've had like 3 city managers in the last 18 months or so. The city secretary, he just quit over that livestock ordinance thing. Now you got these council members in trouble, being indicted. How could you not say that the...
Well, she was saying that there are still some good people there. That's what she said.
Well, I bet if I was more involved with the San Marcos community, I can spot some corruption there too.
Oh, I'm certainly, yeah. Certainly.
There's a guy named Sam Brennan. He really knows a lot about what's going on in San Marcos, and I probably should talk to him more.
Is that Hayes County?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hayes County.
I've gotten some. This show's gotten some reports about Hayes County.
Yeah.
They're like third behind Wilco somewhere. In that
There's
area.
apparently some real corruption, some money corruption going on there.
Big war on drugs county too.
They've got fluoride in the water there too.
Yeah. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hey, Jeff, how's it going? What are you talking about tonight?
Oh, this can't be. Who's it?
Sure is.
Is this Andy Larson?
It sure is. I thought I'd call in. I was
Now-
enjoying your shows here.
Now let me introduce you. This is Andy Larson. Now I know you've had
I
interactions.
know him on the Facebook.
Okay, here's Gary Teague was here earlier. He's in the studio. Gary Johnson, radio host Gary Johnson, is joining us here in the set, and the lovely Lorraine Denardis is next to me as well. So a very talented team here tonight.
Am I not lovely?
But this is Andy. Now let me. Yeah,
you're very lovely, Gary.
This is Andy Larson. Him and I go back about what 42 years, something like. We're ancient friends. Both born and raised in Kent, Ohio, and it's amazing. Andy, where exactly are you calling from? Because aren't you making your residence in Toronto, Ontario every now and then?
Yeah, I'm calling from the exciting community of Oakville, Ontario, Canada, about 30 miles from Toronto, and we're getting ready to start with filming season 11 of Degrassi. So I'm enjoying your show on the internet and everything, so I just wanted to call and say you got a great cast going on there. And
tell us about Degrassi.
Okay, well, Degrassi's been going on for about 25 years, 3 different series, and it's a show about high school kids in Toronto, so they tackle all the issues that teenagers have to go through and that sort of thing, and it's a lot of fun being involved in that.
How many?
Busy schedule.
It's worldwide network, right? I mean,
It's on 150 in 150 different nations around the world, so it's pretty cool there. And it's a Canadian series.
And where can people watch it here in America? Just is it like?
It's on Team Nick. That's a cable network. It's kind of high up on the cable channels. You might have to have premium cable service to get that, but maybe not. So Team Nick, and you can watch all the episodes on TNick.com.
Are you working full time with the Degrassi production now?
I'm there about 75% of the time. I used to basically be in Ohio during the week and there on weekends. Now, most of the time it's the other way around. I'm usually in Canada during the week and the United States during the weekends, that sort of thing. So it's only a 6-hour drive, so it's pretty convenient to get back and forth, so that's kind of nice.
Are you still working with the city of Akron? I hope you don't mind me asking you this question.
When I get a chance to.
When you get a chance, okay. I thought maybe you've been retired. The way your Facebook made it sound like you've got some big job with Degrassi now.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
Going there full time pretty soon. We're going to start it. We got 48 episodes. You know, most shows are usually like 24. We're going to have 48 shows in the coming season, so a pretty busy schedule.
Now keep in mind, Andy, you've got Mr. Gary Teague, Miss Lorraine Denardis, myself. We're all actors.
Yeah, I've seen your shows. I've seen your the movies you guys have been into.
So maybe you can kind of slide us into the Degrassi production. What do you think about that?
Are you going to Canada,
Mr. Teague? That's good.
Well, you got to become a Canadian citizen, and try to bounce back and forth. It's a little easier for me because I'm in Ohio, but that'd be a long commute from you guys to Texas to Canada and back. But well, maybe you guys can help me out, as far as the acting stuff goes too. So.
Oh yeah, and Andy, we've got 30 seconds left. It's really great to hear from you. And I should be making a Northeast Ohio visit here within the next 3 or 4 months. So.
Okay, sounds good. I'll try to call in again, maybe a little earlier, and talk with you guys again. Great show. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Andy. Andy Larson calling from outside of Toronto, Ontario. Welcome. You're on Worldwide. Go ahead.
Mr. Davis Show?
Yes, sir.
Davis Show.
We are talking about fluoride?
Yes, sir. Yes. Go ahead. Well, you only got
fluorosilicic acid.
You only got 10 seconds, sir.
Okay, well, that's the stuff they put in Austin's water, and they make it sound like it's vitamin E and calcium and good stuff for you. It's hydrophilic acid. I know most of y'all know that, but it's from